Just need that stream again. No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the game number 4 between WeWindows and Haram Harem in the grand final for all the marbles of the Odyssey Clash 2023 Invitational Season 2. If you're just joining us for this game, I am Ferris on the caster desk, joined by Claire for this game, and the series right now is 2-1 in favor of the WeWindows team, who are on the blue side for this game, and that side swap has happened. The last 3 games, we saw the Haram Harem on that blue side. This time around, they're going to be going to the red side. Will try their luck, or they will at least try their luck with this side of the map, and they were able to pick up a win and build that momentum for themselves. They do have to win the next 2 if they want to be crowned the champions, and it would be a reverse sweep for them. Claire, do you think this game will go their way, and will we see a potential reverse sweep, or will that momentum, will that door be slammed right in their face by the WeWindows side, who wants to take it in 4 games?
I am not sure. I do think that this, both teams have found what is really helping them win these games, and I think that it really just depends on how we see this game progress here. I do like what I'm seeing from this bot lane, playing a more poke heavy, from the Haram Harem bot lane, which is on that red side, playing that more, poke heavy, that Zyra and that Jinx. I do think that worked a lot better for them, getting that lane pressure. So I am happy to see that, but we are seeing a Swain here, which was a little bit rough, but they were laning against the Sylas, which can be incredibly hard, especially in that early game as that Swain tries to get online. But we're just going to have to wait and see a little bit. I do think I favor this WeWindows side a little bit more, as we have seen more success coming out of that Nico and that Viego. So excited to see what we have though.
Yeah, and what was so successful for Haram Harem in Game 3 was that Jinx, so they run it back with that pick. Sedaten Swain in Game 2 didn't look as strong as one may have hoped, but the problem was a lot for his early game was being having no access to Flash, as Ghost was that summoner spell that was taken. But the adaptation here has been a Flash in the summoner spell book there for Sedaten, so going to be able to escape these ganks a lot easier. Against the Nico in the mid lane, you kind of need that ability, otherwise you fall to one route, you get hit by one route, and you certainly will fall to any other layering of the CC. And there will be a lot of that because Jhin is the pick that Ace in the Hole has gone for. And the other thing about Jhin that I like in the context of this WeWindows draft is the fact that it's paired with a Bard who likes to roam around a lot. So when you roam around a lot, that leaves your AD carry isolated, and Jhin does pretty well in a 2v1 scenario. Can clear waves really quickly, has lots of range, now might just follow Flash in this 2v2 and grab the first blood. So I'm singing the praises of the Jhin in this game, and at the same time gets a 2v2 kill. It doesn't get much better than that. WeWindows find themselves first blood inside of this game.
Yeah, no, that Jhin is picking up, and I do think that WeWindows has a little bit of a stronger early game, so using that to their advantage with that Bard and that Jhin just getting online a little bit more. But we are seeing a little bit of a scuffle over this top side scuttle, so it does go in the favor of King Kublai on this Jarvan, but we haven't really seen King Kublai play this Jarvan, or at least not in this series. We have in the past, but not too much.
Be caught out in the bot river. Remember, burn the Flash in that earlier play. The flag and drag will get him to safety only for a few seconds, and has fortunately been able to secure that Scuttle Crab, make that a double Scuttle, but loses his life in the process. He burned the Flash on the top side and then died on the bot side, and the play may continue on to Sedaten, who does have Flash this time. The Spectral Maw does hit, and that won't be enough to finish off the kill, but they get the summoners off of the Haram Harem mid laner. And so 2-0 to start. It's a good one. A good start for the Wii Windows side in game number 4. Oh, actually, hold on a second. We do have a flash. Rude, just as I was about to kick it over to Claire, the flash from Supro, the quick decision to find that root and then combine it with Viego's damage. They get themselves that kill. It goes to the way of Troll. The 3 kills on the board now.
Yeah, 3 kills going in an early lead for this Wii Windows side, which, you know, is exactly what they need to do into this game. Just not letting the Swain or this Jinx scale at all, as long as they continue to hold this lead and, you know, win these fights. But that is to be seen. We're seeing this Viego come down bot lane, so potentially going for a lane gank or just going to get those Krugs and potentially get onto that Infernal Drake, which is the first dragon of the game. They have always been pretty good at securing these Drakes, especially with this bot lane pressure.
Attention though, the tunnel, that's something you always have to think about when playing against the Bard, but nice Flame Chompers combine it with the Stranglethorns as well, is 2 roots that will prevent that gank initiation from the side of Wii Windows. So excellent usage of the champion synergy there between Druber and Exodus, and Haram Harem's bot lane escaped from that gank, but they did have to burn the flash on the Jinx, so it's not all good for Haram Harem and not all bad for Wii Windows, as Wuju could potentially be in trouble now to a gank from King Kublai. He is level 6, but so is Ajuka, has access to the Noxian Guillotine. 4 stacks of the passive, and now 5. And gonna be bleeding down quite quickly. The Flag and Drag unfortunately misses, but the flash forward Ajuka has enough damage to secure the kill, and the trade on the bot side will be the Infernal Dragon. Wii Windows continuing that trend of neutral objective dominance.
Yeah, I mean, just getting that first Drake, I mean, they've always been good at securing those, as I said earlier, but, you know, also, you know, they did give over a kill in that top side, which, you know, getting this Darius online would be super strong, as they can have such an impact into these later team fights.
Yep, and Darius with a lead is a champ. Well, he's a champion that needs a lead, doesn't do very well if he doesn't get that lead. He becomes quite mediocre in team fights if he doesn't have that extra gold in his pocket to start to snowball. And the fact that that kill did go over to him and not King Kublai on the Jarvan is something to feel happy about and hopeful for. If you are a fan of the Haram Harem or are a player on that team and you want to bring this series to a game number 5, you still want that shot at being crowned the Clash Invitational champions, well, that Darius could bring you to that moment where you could bring it back. So it's going to be something on the board for them. They are down 3 kills to 1. It's an 800 gold lead in favor of Wii Windows' this bot lane. It's not the end of the world. There's 2 kills down there, but the CS is still relatively even. And they're getting their summoners back up soon, at least for Drubert, and so they'll have that extra safety if Viego wants to attack that lane again. But I want to pay attention to the top side, because look at the minimap. Rajuka does not have Ghost, does not have Flash, has been devoured by Wuju's Tom Kenshin, thrown underneath the turret for Troll to try and follow up with that last little bit of damage, but that ultimate will come through. The Noxian Guillotine from Ajuka, but unfortunately there wasn't enough stacks to get the full damage there, and so that kill will not be found. But Sedaten is roamed up from the mid lane. King Kublai and him are waiting for Troll inside of this brush. There's the Flag and Drag. There's the Q that's going to finish off the kill. And that will be King Kublai taking it for himself, and Wuju with that Abyssal Dive has to get out of dodge in the 2 versus 1. A 1-for-1 in the top side of the map.
A 1-for-1 is not too terrible, especially, you know, getting and keeping that lead from an ever-expanding. So, you know, wanting to keep that in check, but that Jarvan getting online is pretty important. Not who I would first wanted to see.
Magical Journey, excellent stun from Logros, and that's going to be the follow-up of Deadly Flourish, and now the Curtain Call will come through. Druber can tank for a moment, but can't tank for too long. Drops to that 3rd shot. The 4th shot did not find the mark, I do not think, as the Cataclysm is dropped from King Kublai towards that Rift Herald. Was able to pick up that objective, and the flash will have to be learned from Supro. He's been pulled in by Sedaten, and Troll is waiting in the wings to help out his mid laner if things get messy, but things will not, and they will run back towards their respective sides of the map. It's a Rift Herald on the top side for Haram Harem, but it's a kill on the bot side, and this wave denied for the Wii Windows team.
Yeah, no, just looking at this Haram Harem side, I would have loved to see a little bit more, you know, aggression towards this Nico in the mid lane, trying to get the Swain online instead of trying to force the Swain to to, gank and help other lanes to get back into this, because they just don't have the damage quite yet in this early game to, get this solo kills. And they are a very slow ramping champ, so it's just going to be a bit rough for them to get into this. Again, Supro does have 2 assists, which, I mean, this Nico is always going to be pretty, strong at any point in the game where they're at. But they do have this Rift Herald that they can use in whichever one of these lanes. Only 1 plate has gone down for in the top side, but
Tempered Fate misses in the bot side, and so that won't be the 2v2 started up. It is the Storm Razor finished for Ace in the Hole Jhin, and so he is significantly stronger than his counterpart in Exodus, who only has that Noon Quiver in his inventory. So pay attention to the bot lane, because I do believe that this is where We Windows should look to strike. They want to stack those neutral objectives, specifically those dragons, and so getting that lead in the bot side will certainly help out. They're invading here onto King Kublai, who's trying to clear away his Gromp, but he's having a hard time doing so because there's some pesky enemy members trying to make his life a little difficult there. The Gromp will not reset. Trolls looking for that Smite Steal, and over the wall will find it, but is hit with the Stranglethorns. Going to be taking a lot of damage. Heartbreaker is now used, going to try and turn it onto Druber, who flashes away, but he's now 1 HP inside of the Cataclysm. The flash forward from Logos to finish off that kill. Supro mistimes the root onto the teleport, but goes right back in with the Pop Blossom. Sedain with the Demonic Ascension finds some healing to keep himself alive, but Ace in the Hole flash forward, 4th shot finishes off the kill. Exodus now stunned up on the wall from Logos. Combine that with the curtain call, though. Shots rain through. Even the flash cannot keep him safe. Ajuka's run down from the top side, pops the Ghost, and is stunned up for the moment. His first target is Supro. The Noxian Guillotine is canceled by the clone, but he finds the shutdown onto the Jhin. Next target is Logos. He's going to try and run him down inside of the alcove, but that root will land. Logos trying to kite this one out. The Q will miss from Ajuka, and now he's running him around the alcove. He's just going to give up on this play and let the Bard run free. A very extended fight inside of the jungle results in a bloody exchange that favors the We Windows team.
yeah, no, I mean, it's an overbearing, win for this this We Windows side. Getting a little bit more kills. They did go over the Logros on this Bard, some of them, so not entirely who you would want to see that go over to, maybe. But, still getting a massive advantage in lead into this, we are 12 minutes into this game. We do see this Cloud Drake up. So going to be a skirmish over this. We need to just wait and see. We are going to see King Kublai
could be in trouble. Ajuka doesn't have Ghost. This should just be... yeah, that's going to be the Abyssal Dive plus the Ghost. Wuju will be fine, but guess who's not fine? Druber is not fine. Tempered Fate, there's the stun on the wall. That's a kill for Troll. One of the easiest he's ever gotten in his career, but they got to run over to this Drake because King Kublai is trying to heist this one away, but doesn't quite have the damage to burst it down. It's down to 3.5k HP, but it should reset back to full, and this should go over to the side of We Windows. Unless Sedain and King Kublai have anything to say about this, they don't really have an option here. It's 2 versus 4. The Drake goes the way of We Windows. King Kublai goes in, but dude, you got no follow-up here. You go into Cataclysm, but Heartbreaker follows it up, and the Jarvan goes into the Death Chamber. A bit of mixed communication there, maybe, from the Haram Harem team. And that seals the death for King Kublai. Ruju, again, could be in trouble, lands the stun, but the Apprehend will pull him right back. 5 stacks are locked down. The healing's in for Ajuka, trying to get him down as low as he possibly can, trying to get the Noxian Guillotine, but the Devour will keep him on inside of the belly of the Tahm Kench for so long, and then he spits him out underneath the tower. Wuju, solo kill in what could be the final game for We Windows in this series is huge.
Yeah, 11-4 kill lead, and we do see that flash in that root. And
Pop Blossom, 2 solo kills for the solo laners. We Windows have that trophy in their eyes. They are locked in right now.
That is just not what you want to see. An 8-kill deficit right now for Haram Harem, and I only think it is going to grow. There's so much of an advantage. We do see this Nico, an incredibly powerful, just foe, just running around the map. Being able, a solo kill onto that Swain is not what you want to see, and finishing up that rocket belt. So going to just be even stronger and, having more movement around this map.
And I want to point out the build from Wuju. The members of Haram Harem's team hate crowd control. Now, what does Anathema's Chain's first item do? Well, you pick a target, and I think it's going to be a Juka, and then that target has reduced tenacity against you. So things like the Devour and the slows and the stuns that are given out by Wuju will last longer on a Juka. As a Darius, you do not want to be locked down by CC. You want to be running free, getting those ultimates onto low health targets and running through the fight. But an Anathema's Chains on a Tahm Kench not only makes it harder for you to team fight, but also makes it harder for you to win a 1v1 as well. So I really like this build path from the side of Wuju. I think it's very smart, and I think it's going to be very effective against a champion like Darius, who's hindered so much by elongated CC durations. And so the Rift Herald will be taken. It will go the way of the Wii Windows team. Now, will a fight break out immediately after? Root lands onto Sedaten, but there won't be any follow-up for the moment. Troll inside of the mist is going to clear away some vision. I think that will just be the neutral objective take for the Wii Windows team.
You know, Wii Windows just picking up all the objectives across this map so far. Both of these Drakes and then that Rift Herald. There's so much burst damage that comes out of that Nico. And I was going to mention earlier, you know, this downfall of playing a poke-heavy champ like that Zyra.
Troll has found King Kublai. I think this will just be trading.
Yeah, no. I mean, playing a mage in like that poke-heavy champ like Zyra or Morgana is that they are pretty squishy. So, I mean, maybe Morgana, as she does have her passive, which does allow her to heal, it's like 30% of the damage she deals with her W or something towards champs and monsters. But Zyra does not have that, so she's extremely squishy.
Kublai has found Troll inside of his jungle, uses the Cataclysm, which is flashed away from, but the follow flash will be enough for King Kublai to find the shutdown kill. 150 gold bounty. That's something to get back for Haram Harem. They are down 6,000 gold 16 minutes into the game, but that's something King Kublai is going to be feeling happy about for the time being. Gets the smite under the blue buff. That won't be heisted away this time. Will the play continue? They're kind of hovering around this jungle area. Is both Ace in the hole and Logro. Supro as well waiting in the wings. Drubert has to be careful. Flashes away from the Tempered Fate. If that lands, then it's the perfect time for the layering of the CC to happen. So Drubert forced to use that summoner spell. The pressure is immense from the Wii Windows side. You can see it. Logros with that magical journey and Wuju on the flank from the top side. Exodus uses flash and Ghost, but the Devourer is here. Nowhere to go. Is this Jinx? And gone to the wind he goes. 3 kills for Logros' Bard, and things are just looking dire in what could be the final game for Haram Harem.
You know, Haram Harem really does need to turn around this game if they want a chance to get back into it. I mean, they're getting their first item spikes on everyone. I mean, it does not seem that Drubert has theirs quite yet, but working towards it, and I mean, just being so, you know, carefree and not really thinking about where the enemies might be and trying to get this vision. And that is how we've seen them get caught out in the past couple of, you know, picks that Wii Windows has gotten onto Drubert. I mean, we are going to see this dragon fight start. We're seeing some TPs in. It's going to be a 5v5, but the positioning right now is pretty rough.
Well, right now, the fight's going to break out. King Kublai finds a Cataclysm onto 3 members. Ace in the hole is going to flash away from this one. Huge pop blossom, but Sedaten finds the first kill of the fight onto Troll, so that will be smite down, but that's also going to be the trade. So both junglers are dead, and now the fight will continue. Sedaten in the front line, trying to usher his team towards the back line of the Wii Windows squad. Wuju confidently taking up in the front line. Drubert, no flash, gets hit with a deadly flourish. The tongue wrap will miss, but the abyssal dive will hit, and that will be the second kill of the fight, and what will be the deal sealed. And the Drake goes the way of Wii Windows. Now they are on soul point inside of this game.
I mean, just as we saw earlier in these past games, they're so good at being able to get these Drakes and, you know, giving that lead in that early game. Just let them snowball it and get that soul as early as they can. And they are doing so. They have all 3 into this game, up about, you know, 7k gold lead. It is not what you want to see if you are Haram Harem and needing to get back into this game one of these ways. Has yet to take a tier 1 turret or tier 3 turret. So, I mean, that could be a good place to start if they are able to do so. All these waves, though, just being pushed in even closer towards their base.
The problem is that if you do want to siege a turret, you're putting yourself and your team in great danger because you don't have priority over these waves. The other team is stronger than you, so if you try and force your will onto someone who's stronger than you, well, guess what? They're just going to push you right back and actually kill you off and then continue to push into your own base. This troll has been potentially caught out here by King Kublai. Remember, Ace in the hole does not have flash. This Cataclysm will trap him in for the full duration. There is the Strangle Thorns, and the Super Mega Death Rocket came from downtown from Exodus, so they find that kill in that pick in this skirmish. The Tempered Fate has no follow-up, and so We Windows will have to back off for the moment. They lost their AD carry. They'll have to reevaluate. The Baron is now spawned. Could be a Hail Mary attempt from the side of Haram Harem if they want to go for this. Supro has found King Kublai, but I think the reset will just come through.
You know, resetting after getting that kill, that's a good place to start towards where they want to be. You know, get back into this game, get some gold back into their pockets, but this Baron will be going up, and I'm afraid if they do get a reset, and if, you know, We Windows knows that they're going to get a reset, they could just burst down this Baron pretty quickly. We do see Wuju on the opposite side just going to be split pushing and causing a lot of problems, and the person, I mean, somebody needs to try and stop him, which is just going to even be harder to, you know, win a fight. Like, because their 4v4s can be weaker if they don't have the other, you know, utility from the champs. So.
King Kublai finds the flag and drag onto 2. Ajuka pops goes. Troll tries to flash away. Double root from Supro. Teleport coming in. Flash forward from Ajuka, but the Heartbreaker will get Troll to safety over the wall. Sedain flashes forward but misses the pull. And this will be the initiation attempt from Haram Harem. Unsuccessful. And many summoner spells burned. The flash off of King Kublai. The flash ghost off of Ajuka. Flash ignite. Or sorry, flash teleport. Gone off of Sedain. And so these are key summoner spells that are burned in this fight, and something that they might want if a Baron fight breaks out, and also something that they want when that inevitable soul fight comes up as well.
Yeah, we are seeing this Baron fight. It could be taking place. I mean, that's going to be the next one, as long as Soul does not come up here too soon. But I mean, just going to be farming for both teams here. Going to be pushing waves as far in as they can for We Windows. Just Wuju just being up here is so tanky, and no one can really do anything about it. Getting that Heartsteel online, you know, just gonna start wanting to stack that as fast as they can, but Emperor Fate does go a little bit wide. Exodus lives to see another day. Or do they? I mean, getting rooted there by that Jhin is just not what you want to see. Forcing a back.
We're seeing a back and a flash, though, so Jinx without flash is a very vulnerable target. Sedain, who also doesn't have flash, is going to get rooted up by Deadly Flourish. Ace in the hole, though, is locked inside of the Cataclysm, but this time has teammates to help him out. Dodges away from the Super Mega Death Rocket, and in comes Supro with a massive Pop Blossom to kick off the fight, and that is going to be 2 kills in for We Windows, and the death timers are long. It's 30 seconds, and they want to continue this play. Underneath the turret goes Wuju with an excellent Abyssal Dive, who finds Drubert, and they have no wave, but they're continuing to make this play onto that inhibitor. They're going to drop the inhibitor tower. Inhibitor will be soon to follow. I think they're just going to turn their attention towards the Baron. They can't think about ending the game just yet, but they are in such a commanding lead for the moment.
Yeah, that's massive. Getting that inhibitor tower and that inhibitor is just going to be such a problem. Forcing those super minions down that mid wave is just not what you want to see, and they decide to not do the Baron, as everyone does come up for this side of, you know, Haram Harem. So just being able to play it a little bit safer. They do think that they probably can find a pick in other places since they are so much stronger. It's about a 10k gold lead at 23 minutes here. Not the largest one we've seen. I think that was in game 2, which was about a 12k gold lead at this time or so. But
Temper Fate won't kick off the fight. But yeah, you're mentioning gold leads. I think it was something, our biggest gold lead was something about 12, 13k. King Kublai has found himself into multiple members of We Windows, puts them into the Cataclysm and gets out with the flag and drag. The Strangle Thrones will knock up Wuju. Troll down to about half HP. Sedaten trying to take up in the front line. He's not too tanky. Drops to about half HP. King Blue is very low now. This is the Ocean Drake alive, so if they lose their jungler, they will lose that objective. Sedaten falls to the tongue latch of Wuju, who's going to go right back in with the Abyssal Dive. Exodus is now locked up, does not have access to the flash to get away from this one. That's going to be the kill. Secured from Logos, 2 dead. From the side of Haram Harem, Drubert running for his life is level 9. Zyra is faced with so much power on the side of We Windows, who are going to be pushing it down mid. They might just look for the end here. They feel like they might have enough strength to force these Nexus towers down. It's only Juka, King Kublai, and Drubert left to defend for the next roughly 20 seconds. They feel confident enough. They're not going to go for the soul. They're not going to go for the Baron. They're going to go for the end. That's a nice flag drag, a nice route to follow it up, but here comes the Pop Blossom. It lands onto 2. King Kublai is now down. Logos is unstoppable. This guard is on a rampage right now. Wuju is godlike as well. That's 2 kills going over the way of We Windows. Make it 3. First Nexus turret falls. Now it's going to be Exodus and Sedaten, who is respawning very soon to try and keep their base alive, and the resets are going to come through. They're not going to push for the end, so they just push for the first Nexus tower, and they're going to reset. They're going to get soul. They might look their way towards Baron. It's so close to glory here for We Windows now.
We Windows just minutes away if from the lifting that trophy and the Clash, being the winners. We are seeing them get this soul, as you said earlier. Going to be able to pick up that Skull Crab as well, I'm assuming. Just getting that gold back onto this round, and it just forces this Haram Harem team to sit in base and having to clear that mid wave. That just keeping forcing it, into their base over and over again has got to be quite annoying to deal with after a while. I mean, the longer that this wave is up, the more XP that they are going to get. So if this game does, go 50 minutes, they will scale back into it. But I don't think that this We Windows team wants it to go that long.
They don't want it to go that long, nor are they going to let it go that long. They are so far ahead, they can virtually do whatever they would like, and there's little things that Haram Harem can do about it. And one of the things they want to do is secure this Baron to seal the deal in the series and in this season of Clash Invitational. But it's going to come down to this 4k HP now on this objective. Can King Kublai find the steal? They're going to flip it 50-50. He buys the steal and will get the Baron for his team, but I think he will die in the end. The Devour comes through, and now King Kublai is stuck in the pit with all the members of We Windows. An excellent steal will keep them alive for the moment, but now the play should just be to push for this end. 5 versus 4 for We Windows.
Yeah, 5 versus 4. King Kublai does go down. They are going to have these Baron buff minions to try and slow down this push, but Troll gets in there, but I do think they're going to have
dive comes through. Now the curtain call is channeled. Gonna find the slows onto a Juka. Drubert pops just like a balloon. Sedaten running. Does pop the Demonic Ascension. Excellent stun from Logos. Will keep the Swain locked in place for now. They're going to try and finish off this bot lane. Tier 3 or Tier 1 turret. My apologies. Ajuka is fallen very low. The Nass Nexus turret is under siege. Asterius has to do something to try and defend the base, but he has nothing. Ace in the hole has found that kill. Nexus under fire. We Windows have done it. They were a middle of the pack team for so many weeks and roaring into first place in week number 4, and now in the playoffs have come together as a team and will be your Season 2 2023 Clash Invitational champions.
Climbing through that middle of the pack to find themselves at this first place in the Clash Invitational, defeating their opponents in such dominant fashion as well, being able to be comfortable on so many different champs and just play around so well. I mean, congratulations to We Windows, and all of the players on that team. And I mean, it was incredibly exciting to see them play throughout this entire season.
It has been quite the incredible season for everyone, the players, the production, the casters, and congratulations to We Windows. They secure their championship 3-1 the final series. Also, well played to Haram Harem. They also had quite the killer season for themselves as well. 2 of our top teams going head to head in some very entertaining games. It's exactly what we wanted to see heading into the series, and we couldn't have asked for much better. We Windows are the champions. The season was exciting. We had lots of different winners, lots of different breakout performances from multiple different teams. but we Windows are the ones to come out on top. And that will wrap it up for the final stream of the season. And so that's going to do it for us here at Odyssey. I want to thank Talia today for doing the production there in Mipa's absence and on the caster desk. My name is Ferris Clare. Do you have anything to say as we wrap up not only the stream but the season to any of the people watching the stream right now, players? Any final thoughts?
None that I can really express. I mean, just excited. I mean, this season had a bunch of plays, a bunch of great players in it. And it couldn't be done without all the players, of course. Everyone was excited to play and looked forward to playing every week. So that's exactly what you want to see. And I'm thankful towards all of them being able to cast their games and everyone being fun and just whenever they hopped on the cast, gave some insight into their game. So just excited to be a part of it all.
Yeah, and it was an excellent time this season casting with you, Claire, and also shout out Josh Sand, who helped me in my first few streams with Odyssey as well when I started out, and also those who helped fill in along the way, and just for the Odyssey community as well for being so welcoming and hosting some fantastic games of League of Legends. We had a great season, and for those watching, we hope you enjoyed the streams every single night as well. But that's going to do it for the season and for the stream for us at Odyssey. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you in future seasons. We'll see you later.